Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our final session at the World AI Show Singapore, and it is on integrating machine learning and responsible AI for conducting model risk management in financial institutions. And for this, we're joined by Ankita Gupta, Head Enterprise Risk Management Technology, Standard Chartered Bank. Well recognized as a digital thought leader, Ankita carries extensive years of experience with innovative mindset, driving the culture of diversity and inclusion and contributing to the company's vision and mission. Well, with this, I'd like to welcome Ankita on the stage and screen. Ankita, thank you for your valuable time. And we now request you to join us on the main stage by turning on your camera. Thank you, Ankita.
Thank you for having me here, and it is really a privilege and honor to be speaking on World AI Show. And I have been part of the sessions; they were very enlightening and very interesting. Definitely, we learn every day on the job, and today I learned a lot more than usual. So, yeah, thank you for having me here.
Right. So, Ankita, with this, the stage and screen is all yours. We're looking forward for a final session. Thank you. Over to you.
Sure, thank you so much. Okay, let me share my screen.
I'll just stay around to confirm once we've got the slideshow in place.
Sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, meanwhile, please keep tweeting with the hashtag World AI Show. And right now we're with Ankita Gupta at the World AI Show Singapore. And this is going to be our final session. So we hope that we get as much engagement as possible from all of you. Perfect. We can see. Over to you.
Thank you. So today, what I'll be going through, I'll be going through model risk management and how we can integrate the use of ML and AI in model risk management space. I will explain you a bit on model risk management before we get into the nitty-gritties of AI and ML. What will be the agenda for today? Of course, what is model risk management? How the ML is used in model risk management world? What is responsible AI for financial organizations? And any Q&A at the end if time permits. As you all got from my introduction, I'm from a banking organization. So I will kind of very much focus my session today on what is model risk management in a financial organization. So, first of all, what is a model in a very simple term? A model is a tool that uses any assumptions or underlying theories to generate predictions. For that matter, to a layman, model is a piece of code which has a set of inputs, it has set of outputs, and in between we are doing some calculation logic and processing. And hence, from here, the model risk principles are derived. So, model risk is defined as a potential loss that may occur due to misinterpretation or misestimation from the consequences that might come out of from running of this code. And this could be due to the errors in development, implementation, or for that matter, the use of such models. Now, in financial organizations, we write models in the credit risk space, in the fraud space, to kind of gauge. Just one example would be to gauge the customer behavior. Suppose, for example, we want to see we've given a loan to a customer. We want to see whether the customer will be able to repay the loan to us or not. What we do, we do the profiling of customer behavior and its past records, wherein we see, okay, what is the job status of customer, what has he been defaulting his loans in the past or not. Based on those predictions, we take out an output and hence a liquidity for the bank, wherein we say, okay, we have given the money, but this customer is not that reliable, or maybe he may not be able to repay the loan. So that's how a bank kind of gauge its liquidity in the future or the credit loss in the future. and what we write, the code to derive or predict, is called a model. Yeah. Now, before even going to ML and AI, in any financial organization, a basic a model follows a basic life cycle, because these are the models that we have to submit to regulators. We have to let the regulatory or governing bodies like PRA, EBA. We have to let them know that how we have derived our models. How, suppose, for Singapore credit cards, we have got this expected credit loss. So any model has a governance to follow in an organization, and hence we say we identify a model first, which needs to be modified. We then develop that model or enhance that model based on any regulatory ask. We then validate that model, and then we implement that model in any production or a governed environment where the model can be run in a recurring manner. And then we continuously use and monitor that model. The monitoring is a very important aspect of this whole model life cycle, wherein we continuously monitor the model to see if the model is still behaving correctly, or if it needs to be recalibrated. Yeah, because over the course of time, the exposures in an organization might change. The data in an organization might change. Hence, the model needs to be recalibrated at times for its parameters. And then the last stage, which is a very subjective stage, is decommission. If the model is no longer in use, it needs to be decommissioned. So these are the basic life cycle. Now, where does AI and ML comes into picture into this? It's in the model development and validation phase. But when do we start thinking about it? It's in the model initiation and identification phase. Now, in to conduct model risk in any organization now, and putting up, whenever you are thinking what kind of platform I need to conduct my model risk effectively in a bank, we have to think of a next gen platform, which first of all is can work on a hybrid setup, like on premise and on cloud, because the financial organizations today do still have the we have not got yet the compliance approvals to go on cloud 100% for all countries. There are some restricted countries. Plus, that platform should have terabytes of processing power, an ingestion framework to ingest the data from federated systems, and of course, it has an AI and ML workbench where you can run the experiments on the model. Plus, it has a central model registry to kind of register all your models, catalog all your models, because trust me, in financial organizations, you can have thousands and thousands of model running, because these models are not just what you submit to regulators. These are also challenger models that you originate in your organization. So this is what an efficient AI ML slash model analytics platform would look like. Now, let's dig into more on artificial intelligence. And I want to start off by saying that a very famous quote from Dave Waters that is used in the ecosystem today, that artificial intelligence will digitally disrupt all industries. Don't be left behind, right? So this is the new way to go. This is a new technology, a new methodology to embrace. Yeah, the world is talking about it. So we have to keep up to the pace. And once you start using it, you will know the benefits. Yeah, and this is more about a mindset change also, to adopt artificial intelligence in the usage of your models or codes which are running in a very retro way. So, what is the vision of artificial intelligence in a finance organization? The vision is to build a collaborative, innovative environment from which both supervisory bodies like PRA, EBA, HKMA, MAS, and the regulated institutions like any financial organization or banks can benefit. This is the end goal, right? Because ultimately, the supervisory bodies and the regulated institutions, they work very closely. and till eternity, the hands off will be there. Hence, the whole idea is that how do we build a collaborative and an innovative environment between these two bodies? And also, a very important concept that we should all remember is that often we use AI and machine learning terms in conjunction with each other. We always say AI ML. However, we should understand there's a difference between the two, AI and ML. Artificial intelligence is a broader term of which machine learning represents a subcategory. The difference between that, machine learning is a data driven way to achieve AI. Yeah. So that's where all AI is not machine learning. Yeah. Now, what is a typical model life cycle for running a machine learning model, right? First of all, in any financial organization, or for that matter, any organization that wants to run a ML model, the first thing that we need to do is asking the right question. Right question as in, what is the model output we are seeking from this model? What are my input parameters that should be going into that model, which my ML algorithm should be looking into, right? What is the end state we want to achieve? Get the required data scientist on board to kind of validate the output that will come at the end. So we just we should set up ourselves for success, right? So hence, asking the right questions at the start, which algorithm we should run and best fit for this, that should be the one you should be discussing at the start. Then preparing your data. What is the data inputs you need, right? When I say preparing of the data, it is seen that today, based on the experience and what we have, there are various POCs and fact studies done on this, that the data that we have, especially for credit risk models, 50 to 60% of data is noise, just noise, which is irrelevant data for your model. And hence, if you can prepare that data and say, okay, this 50-60% data I don't need, this is the 40% data I need to concentrate on, you would get a faster turnaround time. No ML model in the world can fix your DQ issues. Hence, if you can prepare your data with the by resolving the DQ issues, that would give you a better accuracy model. And then, of course, the next step is selecting the algorithm. Like for PD models, you can go with random forest. For early warning model, you can go with NLP. So this only comes by experience in the industry, and of course there is no cookie cutter algorithm for all the models of a particular portfolio. Like for mortgage, I will always use random forest. No, it's more about hit and trial and seeing the accuracy of the output. You would know. But yes, as I said, there we have to set up ourselves for success, and hence how the framework we work in, like an agile framework, is very important, where we continuously learn and innovate. And then, of course, training the model. Training the model is you run the model with the required input data sets, and you keep on running with multiple permutations and combinations. And at the end, of course, testing the model. When the model is out, the data scientist has to test the accuracy of the model. And there could be a big duration where this testing happens, or if the data scientist or an organization is experienced in running ML models, it could be very fast. And then, of course, the continuous monitoring of the model, wherein you have to continuously see and monitor if the model has decayed or not. These are few of the list of common machine learning algorithms that are applicable in a financial organization, like linear regression, logistic regression. As I said, for PD models, logistic regression is popularly used. Random forest, you might be aware of all these names. Then, of course, at the end, what I want to touch upon is responsible AI. Yes, you must be hearing this that, oh, this ML algorithm is a black box. We don't know what's happening at the back end. Yes, it is indeed a black box, but now we have platforms that are coming in the market, which are kind of giving you an insight into whether the whether the output that has been produced by this ML algorithm is explainable and justifiable. That's where in November 2018, the Monetary Authority of Singapore released a set of principles to promote fairness, ethics, accountability, and transparency. These are called as FEAT principles. It provides guidance to firms offering financial products and services to for the use of responsible AI. Because we all know the use of AI and ML poses challenges to the organizations as well, and that's where the regulatory authorities are being conscious, and they have given guidelines that any submissions to them should be done with the explainability clause as well. So when I'll quickly touch on these four principles. Like, what do you mean by fairness? Fairness is essentially a key checks and balances that we need to make sure that the system decision or the model output doesn't discriminate on a to run a gender, race, or sexual orientation or any bias, right? That has been coded within the ML algorithm. Same thing, ethics. ADA firms, which is artificial intelligence and data analytics firms, should ensure that ADA is aligned with firms' ethical standard, values, and codes of conduct, right? Data-driven decisions should be held to least the same ethical standards as human-driven decisions. Why? Because again, it's code. ML algorithm runs at the back end. The coding that runs shouldn't incorporate any code which is biased or go against the firm's standard or the industry's best practices. Important thing, accountability. Even though a model is producing an output through a machine learning algorithm, there should be a clear accountability, both internal and external, and ownership of those models. Today, any human driven models and decisions have an accountability, has a model owner, model sponsor tag to it. ML models also have to follow the same thing. And of course, transparency. ADA firms should clearly explain what data they used to make the data driven decisions, what features went into that model, and how the data affects the decision. So, these are the four principles. Yes. Where are we as a financial organization? In fact, this is applicable to most of the financial organizations. We are working in this whole AI ML space to achieve these four principles in the ML space and to make the ML space more fruitful and futile for us. Um, and it's a journey. Though organizations have started this journey, but will we be able to achieve in 2021? No, might not be. It is a journey, maybe a couple of years, but yes, it has been proven that ML and AI is the way to go in the future. That will drastically reduce the turnaround time for generation of the model outputs in the banks. With that, let me unshare my screen. Okay. Yeah, so lots of information, lots to think about. Yes, we are also going through a lot adopting AI ML, but definitely it's a very interesting space. And we have set up big teams, ML ops team, who would conduct the running of AI ML models in the organizations. And definitely it's helping the cause, but a good space, a very interesting space. Yeah. With that, I'll welcome any Q&A.
Right. Thank you so much, Ankita, for your valuable information.